Homies, we reconvene yet again to put some respect on the name of a series that, as popular as it is worldwide, gets hella slapped on over here in the States. I need y'all to throw y'all senzus in the sky and give it up for the original Dragon Ball. Now, before we head first into YN Goku's hood rat excursions, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Big salute to the homies Carl Finch and Jimmy Tunnel for putting the absolute smackdown on the opening track Mystical Adventure. Every time I hear that bass line start slapping, I start geeking like I'm Chad Ochocinco in the end zone. And now the series has us hyped up from moment one, we take in the beautiful landscape and are immediately introduced to the man of the hour, Son Goku. A far cry from the golden-haired gilf we all know and love, this Son Goku is a chonky little bite-sized fellow who, while he looks pretty unassuming on the outside, we are immediately made to understand how perked out this little fella is as we watch the fun-sized fiend throw a whole tree stump into the air and obliterate it with a single kick while posing for the camera just to make sure everyone registered just how nice he is with it. After taking care of the morning chores, YN Goku heads inside, says a prayer to his OG, grabs his extendo, and decides it's time to spend another day figuring out how to make it in the projects. And while mini Sun Wukong is out to his own devices, our attention turns to the young lady in an immaculate whip with familiar blue hair who is also holding a device some of us may recognize. One thing that has grown to crack me up about some of the Dragon Ball cast though is, as we come to expect, some of the homies in the Dragon Ball universe are absolutely no stranger to putting a fit together. But they will just randomly have their name or some random English word like taco or butt crack just egregiously placed somewhere on one of their articles of clothing, and it gets me every time. I wonder if it's like when you're in the US and we have these shirts and junk with just random bits of Japanese on them that says Kami knows what just for aesthetic purposes. I ain't mad about it, they be putting it on for real. As La Blue girls continue on their search, we return to Goku out here in the trenches getting butt booty naked in broad daylight, telling us it's a requirement while he dunks his tail in the water looking for some free eats. But riddle me this, homies, little buddy's tail was already exposed, and after he toots that thing up and bodied that poor fish while flashing the camera, little homie got right back in them nasty ass jungle clothes soaking wet, so you can't tell me it's for drying purposes. I'm starting to think Mowgli here just got a little of that freaky frog in him, but no judgments from me, King. You have a whole different lifestyle, and I'm clearly unfamiliar with your game. As the big homie is walking off with fresh tuna though, Bulma comes blaring down the highway blasting that new Playboy Cardi and about ends the Dragon Ball franchise in one fell swoop. Now one thing we gotta mention about YN Goku here is, Buddy got about all the worldliness of Patrick Star.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument.
Little homie isn't stupid, and I think that's one thing lots of people get twisted about young Goku. He's got a functioning brain, but all the knowledge and social awareness of your uncle that got locked up back in '99 and just posted parole. Meaning there's a whole mess of stuff he hasn't exactly been put on to, and his naiveness of the world will be the source of many plot points and gags as the series moves forward. And here's one such moment, where Goku, thinking that Bulma's Mini Coop is a rival predator, decides to solidify the dominance hierarchy with the quickness and chucks her and her whip halfway across the wilderness. Not really sure what the hell she just rolled up on. Bulma, who y'all soon learn always keeps that thing on her, lets the chopper sing and nails Kid Goku right between the eyes. Brah, the way she really did just not hesitate to blam off on what she perceived as a small child lets you know immediately that Lady B is not to be trifled with. An absolute sicko who will not hesitate to confirm the body if she senses a moment's danger. But as we all know, this fella YN Goku been eating his cornflakes and is off at least 3 honey packs, so those bullets bounced off him like Andre Drummond at the free throw line, and he picked up the extendo, ready to return the favor. She's able to plead her case just in time though, letting Goku know that she isn't a walking tank, but a human. Not only is she human, but she's of the female variety, meaning now he's gotta take it easy on her. Goku checks the knees in the trunk a little bit and hits her with the "I'll be." With how scrawny you are, you must be one of them there girls, and offers to take Bulma back home and cook her a meal because it's what Grandpa Gohan would have wanted. No intentions of getting rizzed up by Chubbs McKenzie over here. Bulma plays along because her radar detects a Dragon Ball in the location this weird leprechaun is trying to take her, and she sees this as a chance to get her hands on the treasure. Not only that, but if mice and men here may be a little thin up top, but his muscle might come in handy for the road ahead. After they arrive back at the hut and Goku's shrine, Bulma gets her eyes on exactly what she's been looking for. The kid really did have the 4-star ball. And being the rude little street urchin she is, she immediately begins getting handsy with Goku's treasure. She almost made little man lose his religion, and 10 seconds before he was about to earn the nickname Chris Breezy, Bulma explains that what Goku thought was his grandpa was actually a set of mystical wish orbs called the Dragon Balls.
Roll credits.
And pulls out one she already has in her possession to show Goku she wasn't just jiving. The lore dump is given and Goku is made to understand that there are 7 of the orbs in total. And for the individual with the gumption to gather them all, Shenlong, the god of all dragons, will grant the recipient one wish of their choosing no matter what it is. Homies, it's so funny being exposed to the origin story of the Dragon Balls and seeing all the mysticism and wonder it's handled with, just to know in like 4 or 5 decades from now, Bulma's gonna be out here casually wishing for the god of the dragons to give her an extension on her BBL and make her eyelashes longer. The Queen of Capsule Corp really out here just getting way too comfy. After giving the explanation, Bulma then sets her sights back on Goku and expects him to just hand over the keepsake of the only other Ningen he ever met in his life because she said pretty please and got 2 X chromosomes. Now this moment coming up as a classic and really puts a spotlight on one of the most significant differences between Z versus the OG Dragon Ball series. The humor and gags present in the stretch of the series really gives the whole thing an identity of its own. Bulma decides that she knows a surefire way to gank the balls out of this little cave mongrel's clutches. She sneaks him a little glimpse of that Punani little man is sure to be overcome with testosterone and start chimping out into her most valued possession without a second thought. As Bulma begins inching up that funky skirt of hers though, YN Goku just stares back at her like that D Rose meme with a question mark over his dome, puzzled as to why he think he would ever give up his grandpa's memento for a glimpse of her musty wasteland box. Grade A humor. Some of y'all YNs out here IRL could learn a thing or two from young Goku about locking in. The only ass Goku is out here worried about is how to assemble them checks in the bank account. Goku been red-pilled out here, don't ever play with him like that. Bulma, high-key irritated that the thirst trap didn't work, comes up with another plan, proposing that because Goku's schedule is about as booked as a Concord lobby a day after launch, he should join her to track down the rest of the orbs and see what all this mystical dragon hoopla is about. In reality, the real plan is to use Goku as a meat shield, sneak a wish while he's distracted, and leave him crying in the mud with his greatest worldly possessions scattered to the winds after she gets her rocks off, but that's neither here nor there. And on the back of this flimsy alliance built on utter deception, does the franchise-spanning journey that we've all come to know and love and appreciate start its humble beginnings. After showing Goku the dragon radar that would be crucial to making their journey happen, the young monkey man formally introduces himself and asks the young lady her name as well. With hesitance, she tells him that her name is Bulma, and Goku gives the exact response she was hoping to avoid, laughing unapologetically that she was named after a set of undergarments and further cementing into Bulma's mind that her first wish on the Dragon Balls might be for a hysterectomy. If there's one thing she knows for sure, it's that she's not hoofing it all the way to the next Dragon Ball, so she busts open a dino cap containing one of those sweet looking motorcycles straight out of the Tron continuity, and Goku pulls out the extended clip ready to get active on it just like he was on Bulma's Doom Buggy a few moments back. But after Bulma assures him that her name was cleared in the Salem witch trials and her method will be far faster than walking, she throws Goku in the back of the bike and the two speed off to their next destination. Bulma's got a lead foot though, and after damn near wasting the both of them taking a hill too fast, hops off the bike to pop a squat behind a nearby rock so she can relieve herself in peace. Whole time you got R Goku staring her dead in the eye, completely oblivious to the violation in progress when it comes to being in civilized company. Before Bulma can get her whiz off though, this giant ass pterodactyl comes down and prepares to yoke her up directly in Goku's face.
Hey little bro, you know this broad or what?
Know her? I barely met her.
Oh, say less. We go way back, so I'm gonna take her to the crib, chop it up for a second, and I'll bring her right back, cool?
Then next thing Goku knows, he's tied up on a tree while Bulma's getting carted off to Peach's castle. Bulma, clarifying that she and the pterodactyl indeed do not go way back, Goku decided it may be a decent move to spring into action. YN Goku hops on the bike, extended clip at the ready, and hops into the air GTA stunt jump style, snaps at least 4 of the dino's vertebrae in the Infinity Stone dust with the extendo, and chucks the pole into a nearby cliffside just in time to save Bulma and watch her wet herself in the most unladylike fashion as our introduction to our heroes comes to a close. A bit of time passes and the homies find a third Dragon Ball, leaving them with only 4 to collect. With the day winding down though, Bulma decides that it's time to set up camp because she's well aware of the fact that nothing good happens after 9 p.m. Before continuing though, I gotta once again give accolades to Bulma's fit. This bomber jacket she's rocking with the green jeans and boots is OD. We already know that Toriyama's action scenes are top class, but equally as bombastic as the fights are the big homie's sense of fashion. I mean, he really knew how to make a character put that shit on. Out here giving a Rocky and the JoJo cast a run for their money. But yet again, I digress. Bulma, being the bougie teen that she is, has no plans of roughing it on that hard-ass ground getting hotboxed by Goku all night. Instead, she drops a capsule, and in a second, they have a whole-ass makeshift home at their disposal for some R&R on their journey. Goku still ain't up on the capsule situation all the way and has half a mind to get on his Flintstone timing and bash Bulma's head in when he walks inside and sees how bright it is. But Bulma gets Goku up to speed on the works of Thomas Edison, has a field day throwing Yoko Ono on the boob tube and having Goku worried half to death that he's getting a hex put on him. And before long though, the whole trailer gets gassed up from the severe case of swamp ass emanating from Son's trousers. Homie would have been right at home at the nearest FGC local, telling Bulma that Buddy hasn't washed that one set of clothes he owns since Grandpa Gohan was on this side of Yema's lobby, and he doesn't see any reason to change that now. Refusing to let her little capsule home be the residence for patient zero for the next global pandemic, she has Goku stripped down butt booty naked and decides to wash him down herself, since he clearly can't be trusted to do it. As the process continues, she lets Goku know that it's cute and all, but he can take that stupid tail clip off too. That thing's probably collected all manner of bacteria by now, until Goku uses his tail to grab the loofah from her hands and she begins to come to grips with the fact Son is in no way, shape, or form from planet Earth. Man, if she only knew, Hanzi homies. Part of me wants to put on my tinfoil hat, get into my One Piece theory crafting bag and be like, see bros, Toriyama's been playing the alien twist since chapter 2. But that'd be a bigger stretch than Reed Richards playing Twister, and I can't in good conscience let myself go that far with the mental gymnastics. Makes for a cute little interaction though, because as confident as Bulma is that most humans ain't out here rocking a tail like that, Goku's the first boy she ever seen butt booty naked. So as far as she knows, every human male got that thing on him out here tucked away between them cheeks somewhere. After getting George of the Jungle all washed up, Bloomers tries to wash away the dirt and grime of the day, only to have Lion Goku strutting in with his little gut, no care in the world, striking up conversation like he and Bulma are an old married couple. As he's chatting down, he can't help but notice that she also happens to have a pair of butt cheeks on top of her stomach, as well as down below, and feels the need to remark on how both weird and inefficient that is. As she runs his ass out the room, she asks him how it's possible for a brat his age to be so perverted anyway, when she's horrified to learn that this fella Goku's Unk status. Big man out here 14 years old doing his best Vern Troyer impersonation, RP to the homie, and this leads her to crashing out even harder knowing that a boy right around her age has been violating heavy this entire time. As Goku hits the streets and finds some roadkill to bring home to the missus, he returns and the two chatted up about their backstories, considering that they still know relatively little about each other. Bulma asks Goku about his past, and all Buddy can tell her is he's got no clue about any type of mom and dad, but Grandpa Gohan was a real one, picked him up out the mountains when he was a baby, and has been putting him on game ever since. Goku is convinced that Bulma was excommunicated from her native village because she's named after underwear and got booty cheeks on her chest, but is corrected when she informs him that she goes to school, and she's Dragon Ball hunting on her summer break, so she's got a month to make this wish thing happen before it's back to the drawing board and life proceeds as usual. And as their pillow talk ceases, morning brings with it a whole mess of antics, but for Tay homies, that's what we're gonna call it. Tune in next time, gang, as Goku learns the most traumatizing Snapple fact about girls yet, and their journey leads them to an encounter with a strange turtle who perhaps has a little more going on than meets the eye. Make sure you're here for some hijinks, you're not gonna wanna miss. Be easy, y'all, and catch you again next episode.